Life Math, a podcast undescribably tangled, unnecessarily complex, so bad that it's good. Life Math.
Hello and welcome to Life Math's pilot episode. We are your hosts. I'm Iskren.
And I'm Ilya.
We have known each other for a long time. All the way back in school, we were competing against each other in maths. Yeah, we had those nerd-offs. But we've been pretty close friends ever since. So I'll start by saying a couple words about myself. Who am I? I studied physics in Edinburgh, and then at Caltech, and finally at Oxford. I was pretty involved with research and quantum computation. I even got to publish a paper, but decided academia was just not for me. And at that stage, I had worked for a total of 5 years across several different startups. So I wanted some business involvement. And I started a trading company and I was there for 2 more years. But I kept thinking of starting something on my own. And I did, together with Ilya. So do you want to say a couple words about yourself?
Yeah, thanks for letting me speak in this podcast. First, amazing CV.
Yep, hashtag please hire me.
Well, let me tell you a couple of words about myself. They're gonna be less, but still, I graduated in finance, and then I took a gap year. Decided to join a couple of friends in a startup focused on online courses. The startup took off, so I never continued my higher education, and I became a co-founder of 365 Data Science, and was responsible for all data science content that we created up until 2021. The courses I've created or edited have more than 1 million students on Udemy and hundreds of thousands of students on the 365 Data Science platform.
The guy who said, oh, my CV is a bit less, I've done less.
Now, that said, I have retired from courses now, and I'm focused on a new startup called Triveta.com. And actually, as Iskren mentioned, Iskren and I are co-founders at Triveta. He specializes in tech and is our CTO, while I'm more focused on the business and marketing side of things. However, most of all, we are friends. And what do friends do? Yes, they create a podcast together.
Yes, it is known that friends who podcast together stay together. It is known. But enough about ourselves. Speaking of Triveta, we initially planned this podcast as 2 startup guys talking about startup stuff, and mostly about Triveta and our experience growing it as a business. But it quickly just grew out of it. We started experimenting with the actual format of a podcast, what a podcast could be, and we mostly just had fun. Like, we literally talked for an hour about the numbers from 1 to 10.
Yeah, but not only we also had some serious discussions like the one about responsibility.
We discussed a bunch of serious topics, not just responsibility, but also we talked about communication a lot, talked about various means of communication.
Exactly. So what we've been trying to do is how can we make communication better? And what we found out is that we can have conversations within conversations.
We made conversationception.
Yes, but we decided it's too mainstream, so we called it Matryoshka conversations. But what else? What else? We were trying to break the fourth wall here and there, explaining why we say something, why we would have said something. Basically, trying to make this podcast more interactive, not about us, but about you.
What a marketing guy, right? Yeah, so we also, for the startup enthusiasts among you, we also had this one episode in which we do share all of our previous experiences with startups. And the rule in that episode is that we have to do it only with our personal experience, anecdotes and stories. So it's all based on actual experience.
Unlike our other topics where we have no experience at all and we just geek out about stuff.
We just like to talk. We just like to talk a lot. So overall, there's a lot of deep communication, deep talking. There was a lot of complete bullshit. There were lasers and shark lasers and fun stuff. Overall, it's a classic podcast, 2 guys talking, but in all sorts of non-standard formats. So why don't you give it a try?
I will. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Life Math's pilot episode. We are your hosts. I'm Ilya.
You're not silly.
Wow. Feels like we should.
What a blooper.
Like, I literally couldn't have scripted this.
Oh